All right, Sunday reflection time. And I've been thinking about this week how I showed you aspects of how I see the world in the stories. And I've just been sitting with that, sitting with what sharing that felt like. Um, because it felt different than like my first week and second week. One, just getting into that habit, right, of doing this daily challenge, but also opening up in different vulnerable ways. Um, and this week felt good and full in the way of like, we talked about, my lens, and I feel like I hope that I showed you all pieces of that lens that or the pieces that make up that lens. Um, I hope that I kind of showed you what um, me being multi passionate looks like, the different areas, um, and to show that and have other people witness that as a different type of vulnerability. And for me, it felt very freeing, and again, a different way than the feeling of the hollowness, than the feeling of um, like my glasses story and the photo story and the documentarian story in week one. Um, because it was, I don't know, maybe the beginnings of me sewing those pieces that were amputated or dismantled back onto myself. By sharing them with others, I was putting them back onto me. Um, and yeah, it's different when you feel like you're showing your full self to people when you haven't done that before. Um, so yeah, I guess the only like word I can say here is that it did felt freeing. Um, and I think again when we think about like giving yourself permission to do things and taking the path of least resistance and doing things in the mode and the way that works for you, it it, it doesn't burn you out. You can get into a state of flow. Yeah, no burnout, state of flow. Um, free to give yourself permission, free to explore. Um, and free to feel free. I don't know. Like just it felt like talking to a friend. It felt like um yeah, just freeing and fulfilling the giving of the permission. Um so I think that as this challenge begins to wrap up, I'm really excited for like what I continue to do. I've been researching a little bit, um, but not too much. But I have some ideas of things that I want to try out to continue showing up and showing you all the different ways of being multi passionate. And hopefully, you can also then start putting those pieces of yourself back together that you've been amputating to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. Um, yeah, so I'm glad to have shared my lens with you all. That's what I hope to continue to do on this channel, um, and just finding my people, my community in this. We don't have to look the same. Um, if we do, that's great, and we can nerd out on some things. Um, But I think it's also just about building the community of people who have always been told to do the one thing, and they knew that that was never for them. And helping you to dig into yourself of what that underlying question is for you, your purpose, that underlying purpose that is the thread, the needle that threads all the pieces of you together. Because you can be your full whole self. And all the different pieces that may look random and scattered to other people but make complete sense to you. Um, and I hope to like build that type of community and have those type of conversations, those deeper conversations. Um, so, my only question for you all today is to think about what have you been showing people, um, maybe without fully understanding it yourself yet. Um, but maybe let's sit and reflect and think about how would we name it.